the parking lot of Rivers Casino. And man, you got not really the most scenic view here, but if you look into Center City, you could probably get some. If you can go, there's 2 more floors up, but they're locked. But if you're like a photography dork, it would. Man, if you get it up to 2 other stories, it would be such a good view. They have all this new construction going on, and it really, like this is new, that's old, new. And the funny thing is, the population of the city is only decreasing. I think we lost 16,000 people last year. Not all homicides. A lot of people moved too. So yeah, this is Parks Casino is my favorite casino because they got me tickets to see Tiffany and Taylor Dane. But this, this is a little scary. Right here, there's I-95. There's a dome to something. Over there, more construction. All right, let's go for a walk. Anyway, what we're doing today, we're going for a walk. One of my favorite areas in Philly. I like to walk Rick the puppy around here. And Penn Treaty Park is over there. Not too far is where Pennsylvania was founded. And we are on the 3rd level. We're going to take the steps down. I find parking garages creepy. And taking the elevators and parking garages make me feel uneasy. So next to the casino, they have this walkway, and you can actually get some fantastic views of the Delaware River, the Ben Franklin Bridge. You can also read up on your promotions of what's going on here at Rivers Casino. Rivers Casino was originally called the Sugar House because back in V-Day, there was a sugar factory here. And I think the people who owned it signed an agreement that they would... Now, this is... Don't be writing book reports. This is something a guy from Fishtown told me in a bar. That they signed an agreement that they would, like, They would pay respect to the past by calling it Sugar House, but they would only do it for a decade. This guy walks all around the city. Everywhere I go, I always see this guy's sticker. Or lady. I don't know who it is. Person, I guess we should say. Look at this guy. Oh, this guy's taking some Instagram photos. Look at me. Standing next to the Ben Franklin Bridge. What was the name of the sugar factory that was here? If you know, let me know in the comments. Not too shabby. You get a 7-minute walk to Penn Treaty Park. 20-minute walk, you'll be up to Race Street Pier, getting ready to be in the Penn's Landing area. You know, I might actually go in the casino and grab something to eat. Me and Mrs. Captain went to Parks Casino, and we saw Tiffany and Taylor Dane. And before we went to the concert, we grabbed a bite to eat. And you know, casino food's pretty good. I'm not a big gambler, so I don't really go to casinos. The only time I go to casinos is for concerts. And the thing I don't like about concerts is the tickets are always a little bit more expensive because the rooms are a little bit smaller. So, you know what I usually do?
A lot of people ask me, they go, yo, Captain, how do you get to go to so many events? Well, here's the deal. I use SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticket buying app that makes buying tickets so easy. And if you download SeatGeek right now and use promo code ThePhillyCaptain, I can save you $20 off your first order, $50 or more.
So download SeatGeek today and use promo code PhillyCaptain. They have it. They do it for casino shows. I bought Flow Rider tickets on SeatGeek. Yeah, WrestleMania, Philly's opening day. A lot of events are going to need tickets. It's going to drive you crazy, all the money you're going to be spending on tickets. I know it's driving me crazy. And so what I do is, when I go nuts, I talk to myself while staring at the river. People say it's supposed to. I don't think I'm supposed to, like, go on a rant like Louis, not Louis C.K. What's his name? Louis Black. Yeah, they redeveloped this whole area over the last, well, I don't know, 15 years. For the longest time, the people from the neighborhood, they put up a big thing. They're like, yeah, we don't want the casino coming here. They were worried that, like, people would, like, gamble and then, like, run out of money, and then they would break into your car and, like, steal the change so they could gamble. I don't think that was ever an issue. The real estate around this area has only gone up. God, it goes up every year. It's a beautiful day. It's 66 degrees. Saturday, St. Patty's weekend. These guys have got the chairs. How they going fishing? Let me know in the comments. If you caught a fish from the Delaware River, would you eat it? I wouldn't. Especially a catfish. I see people catch catfish down here all the time. And then they put them in the cooler. And I'm like, why would they? They're going to eat that, huh? And they're having a good time. They're having a good time. They're like, yo, Dad, seriously, use the promo code Philly Captain. $20 off every order. That's what I think they were saying. I don't know for sure. And look at all the new property. These are the foundation. I think it's 21 homes, and I think they were going to sell for $1.5 million. And there was a homeless guy living in either the last one or the one to the one next to the last one. And he had a little like fire going, and that little fire became a big fire, and all the buildings burned down. I think they did a newspaper story. Maybe it was Philly Magazine. They did a little research, and somebody in the city control board was like, yeah, nobody should have ever been able to build property here, especially residential property. This area wasn't meant for that. For the longest time, I think it was the Maui nightclub that was around here, because I went to a concert with my my buddy Mike, and we saw the band who sang the song "I Stop the World and Melt with You," and they were playing Maui. We were under 21, so they had like a fence just like this at Maui. So me and my buddy bought a 30-pack of Natty Ice, climbed up a tree, and we watched the concert. It was fantastic. It was a great concert. And they played for like an hour and a half until they got to the hit. But it was a good concert. Like, I thought they were good. But they also drank like a case of Natty Ice that day. Yeah, I'm almost certain this is the one that caught on fire. And the buildings went up 3 stories. I actually have footage from inside the houses before they were knocked down. You had a fantastic view, like you do right now, of Center City. Gotta be careful. Get away from those. Oh, you also got to be careful around here. There was a beaver living around this park. Let me see if I can find the tree that the beaver was eating. Now, some of these trees are a few hundred years old. And this park, in this park, is where the state of Pennsylvania was founded by William Penn and the Lenape tribe. And or leaders of the Lenape tribe. First time I ever smoked a jazz cigarette, and I had the medicine, as Mr. Iron Sheik would call it, and I had the medicine affect me. It was somewhere in this park. Me and my friends were sitting on the rocks. We smoked a jazz cigarette, and we were cutting school, right? And then we started walking that way, and here comes some cops going this way towards us. High as hell, right? I'm having a panic attack. Now that I think about it, I was definitely, my heart was racing. And I also was like, the first time you get high, you don't know if you're ever going to get unhigh, so it's really scary. So walking past cops while having a panic attack while stoned for the first time, that's my story. Hello, friend. Yeah, I think this is the tree that the beaver was eating. And that's why they got this rock here and this fence around it. You see. Oh, it's been so many years. I think it was happening in 2020. So they put that fence around it. Maybe it was down here. That's all beaver damage. Yeah, there's a playground over there, and there are, man, there might be like 50 kids. You got families having picnics. Oh, there's somewhat of a kite going in the air. It was the quiet section of the park. Ain't nobody over here. Usually people are fishing off the pier here. So this is a new building. This used to be, well, it's not a new building. It's actually an old building that they converted into, it's like a luxury suite to live in. And I forget the name of it. We'll talk about it later. This used to be the old electric company, Pico. It used to be one of their power plants. Or, yeah, I guess it was something to do with the old power company. And they turned it into condos. I got to go in there the other day, and it is amazing. And I think they have like a 24-hour concierge. And how important are you? They need one 24 hours. But that's luxury living. And this is the location where the great elm, a giant tree, once stood here. And this is where William Penn and the Indian natives in 1682 came to Penn's Treaty, and they agreed to live together in harmony. A lot of the American settlers, when they came to America, colonies like Massachusetts and New York, when they lived with Native Americans, I think they built walls to separate everybody. In Pennsylvania, William Penn made everybody, well, no, he didn't make it anyway. He just said, yeah, we're all going to coexist together. William Penn, one of the founding fathers of this nation. And I know people know him as the founder of Pennsylvania. Actually, I think more people know him as the Quaker Oats guy. There you go, we got flowers up at Penn Treaty Park. This statue was built in 1982, or carved in 1982. And when it was originally built, William Penn's face was so bad that they had to like redo the statue. And some lady from, I think, this area hooked up with the artist, and she was like, here's some drawings, because back in 1982 they didn't have Google, so I guess maybe he just made a generic face. So they made this statue for William Penn. It turns out the city of Philadelphia didn't even want the statue. They're like, it's kind of ugly. So he made some, he chiseled out the face, gave it a little plastic surgery, and the people at Penn Treaty Park, I think they purchased, the Friends of Penn Treaty Park purchased that statue with the new and improved face. Oh, it's part of Fairmount Park. If you follow Penn Treaty Park on social media, I think Facebook is usually that's where they do most of the updates. If you follow them on Facebook, you could follow, like, they have all types of events here all year round. Indigenous People Day, they have like all summer they have concerts and movie nights. So it's always, if you live in a neighborhood near a park, check out their Facebook page. You know what you got to do, though? You got to see if they update it regularly. If they only update it like once every 4 months, that just means somebody who runs that park has no idea what the hell they're doing on social media. All these houses. the foundation to this property, when it was first built, it wasn't strong enough to be built this close to the river, so they had to tear down the original foundation, and then they had to hire the what's it, the Army Corps of Engineers, is that what it's called? And they had to develop another foundation that could, if the river ever rises, or it's wet here, I don't know, so they needed to update the foundation. So this project was definitely costly, and it never happened. What's got here? Oh, Jesus Christ, thank God I didn't walk any further. There's people living in this place right here. I don't know if people are living there. It looks like there's a tent in there. And then there's a little shelter in there someone's living in. Not bad. It's a good view. I remember when they were building it, I said, well, if I could live somewhere in the city, I would want to live near the river. It really does give me a sense of calming when I'm out of my mind. Well, not really. It's not working today. I'm out of my mind. Been working on the house. I've been doing a lot of stuff this week, and it was very stressful. And I was so excited to go out that I went to go cover the Philadelphia Wings game, and it turns out they're playing in Georgia. So they're not even in Philadelphia. So, oh, watch your step, dickhead. That's quacktastic. What movie? Guys watch, I don't know if you guys watch Saturday Night Live. I do watch Saturday Night Live. Not all. Mrs. Captain likes it. She likes sketch comedy, so we watch it together. And, I'm not really a fan of the new SNL. The last, 2 years, it's been kind of... And listen to this podcast with David Spade and Dana Carvey. And there was an old bit back in the day called Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy. And I just found out Jack Handy. I always thought that was a fake name. It's a real person. There was a real writer on SNL named Jack Handy. Yeah. Yo, ma, he's talking about SNL. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy.
I was going to take my little nephew to Disneyland, but instead I drove him to an old burned-out warehouse. Oh no, I said, Disneyland burned down. He cried and cried, but I think that deep down he thought it was a pretty good joke. I started to drive over to the real Disneyland, but it was getting pretty late.
There he is. Scooter Steve. Got the helmet on the scooter. I can't do it. I can't wear a helmet when I ride my scooter. One, I usually just go 9 miles an hour, which is still fast enough to get killed. I had one... How many times I got hit on a scooter by a car 3 times, and when I was riding the bike, I got hit twice. I broke my ribs. I'm not a very good rider, because you see the videos. I drive like a jerk off. I know, a very irresponsible. If you want to walk this little, they have 2 options here. They have a trail or they have gravel for about 25 yards. You go up here, this is the parking lot where we started our walk. We'll be going back to the Philly Stadium because spring is in the air. Flowers are starting to show up everywhere around the city. I actually was at the Phillies ballpark earlier today, and they had some flowers, and I stopped and smelled the flowers. They weren't roses. Actually, they didn't smell them.